October 27th, what have you got for us? Excellent. A 3:41 a.m. square to Neptune at 29 degrees. Excellent. Right. This is going to be very interesting for those of us that are asleep, right? So most of us should be down here in the southern hemisphere. But I mean, 29 degrees is a crisis degree. So like I've said in a couple of the other videos, Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces is a crisis energy. Okay. Now, the reason it becomes a crisis energy and the reason that it even doubles down even more, and I should make another video about it, is that Neptune at 29 degrees of its retrograde in Pisces, this is the last time Neptune's going to be in Pisces for 140 to 60 years. So there are ancestral and generational things that need to be cleaned up in these last few months of the Neptune retrograde. So any kind of aspect that's coming up against this 29-degree Neptune in Pisces is going to feel a little bit like a crisis for most people, okay? Now, this is especially loud for the mutable signs because obviously Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini are all on the mutable axis. And, you know, these are about transitions. Mutable signs are about transition. So we are transitioning, right? And what does that mean for this aspect? Well, it means that there's going to be some fucking friction, right? Something needs to be shifted. And just like on the 26th, there's a lot of energy within this Sagittarius moon space that is kind of saying, let go of the idea that you think you fucking know. Stay open to the fact that there are things out there that don't have rules, don't have a blueprint, that haven't existed yet, and that you need to stay open to these things. So this particular square has a little bit of that energy, right? Mars at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. So it's very Sagittarius, okay? So it really wants truth here. There really needs to be some kind of emotional truth. And babe, you ain't going to find that with a square to a Pisces Neptune at 29 degrees. Okay. Now, this is where we kind of get moments of tension and we understand that we need to learn something and move forward. But it can be really difficult to do that because, you know, the moon will be void. It's going to be in this haze of a Neptune retrograde. So that's why we need to stay open. We need to stay open and ready to receive information in whatever way it comes through. Okay. And so then the moon will be in Capricorn. It makes a compromise aspect with Uranus in Gemini because it's saying, hey, Capricorn, you think you need the solid evidence, right? You think you need this steadiness, but you need to look at steadiness in a completely new way. You need to look at work in a completely new way. You need to look at your focus on building this like long-term goal. You need to look at it in a new way. Okay. And then we get this semi-sextile to Pluto, which is saying, hey, okay, you need to see something. You need to be open-minded. So all of this is about being open-minded, right? And then at 8:53 a.m., Mars is conjunct Lilith, my friends. Witches and fucking weirdos. This is for you, okay? Mars at the Aquarius degree of Scorpio, Lilith at the Aquarius degree of Scorpio. Wave your weird flag. Get your primal dark feminine energy out. Get yourself dressed in your witchiest outfit and go and do something. Okay, great energy for putting something authentic out into the world. Great energy for taking action on a creative project that you maybe felt a little bit shameful about, that you didn't know how it was going to be received. Excellent fucking energy for that. Excellent energy for spicy times. Excellent energy for spicy times. So 9 a.m., not a great time for it. Maybe we'll be late for work. Maybe we'll be late for work. Okay. So then where are we? We've got a 2:05. No, I got a bit lost there. 11:35, sun sextile the moon. Excellent energy. This is a bit of a fun energy. Okay, 3 degrees is a Gemini degree, which really dampens down that hecticness of a Capricorn moon and a Scorpio sun, right? Which they don't really like each other because the sun is about ego and masculine energy in a lot of ways, and Scorpio wants to be in the dark, and then the moon is in the dark, and Capricorn doesn't want to have feelings. So the fact that we get this sextile aspect is really funny. It's also very nice because it's helping us really like just explore sides to us that we maybe haven't explored before, right? Like the sun lighting up your taboo spaces, the sun lighting up all of these like weird little dark energies that you maybe felt guilt and shame about at some point in your life, and the moon in Capricorn being very even and very balanced with the emotions coming through, and both of them just being curious to how the other one is doing it, right? Like, how are you doing that? Which is just a beautiful aspect to have after that conjunction to Lilith. So that whole morning space looks very nice to me, right? Once we get to that 9 a.m. all the way probably up until midday, maybe even off into 1 p.m. And then that quintile to the node and the biquintile to Uranus semi-square, semi-square to end the day. So really there is a need for finding enjoyment in the way that you work, right? Whistle while you work, that's coming to mind. But there is something about needing to enjoy what you're doing for work and really understanding, you know, where you maybe push your creativity aside, like for money, push your creativity aside, or push your, you know, you're when you want to have fun, you're not having fun because work needs to be done, right? And again, this is like the North Node being like, hey, I know it makes you fucking uncomfortable to relax and have a good time, but that's what we're doing here, right? Stay open to that idea. Stay open to needing to try things that make you a little bit uncomfortable. So, you know, anyone who maybe calls in sick for work, maybe leaves work early, it's that kind of a vibe. And you kind of just, feeling a little bit naughty, but like, oh, actually, I feel quite good. I feel quite good, right? So then 4:46 p.m., we are letting go of a way that you have seen something, right? Like you have over-criticized something. And this goes very nicely with the aspect beforehand. Like you've over-criticized something about, you know, not working hard enough, not being focused, people thinking that you're lazy, right? You've over-criticized something and Uranus is going like, just fucking let that shit go and move on and have a good time, right? Move on and have a good time. And then this Capricorn moon at 8 degrees wants to transform something, right? Like it wants to transform something about how you feel when you choose yourself over work, over a responsibility, right? This semi-square to Lilith and then the semi-square to Mars, there is an energy within both of these that are trying to really have you understand something and learn something and lock something into wisdom when it comes to the balance of how much work you're putting into other people and how much work you're putting into yourself, and really trying to help you transform the idea of what discipline looks like, right? Because we're all in this space collectively of moving away from this Capricorn Pluto energy of discipline, follow the rules, work 9 till 5, work your ass into the fucking ground, right? Get your paycheck, everyone smiles, everyone be happy. And we are moving into a different space, right? Age of a fucking Aquarius, baby. And we are moving into this space of like, well, I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I want to enjoy life. Like, how can I enjoy life? How can I, you know, be creative and have my creativity be part of the collective? How can I do that and still, you know, be doing my part, still be responsible? And Lilith at 23 degrees of Scorpio, like earlier in the day, this is about your authentic energy that you've pushed away. This is about your authentic self and the parts of you that you've rejected. And it's those parts that you need to understand why the balance of like hard work and responsibility and fun and pleasure needs to be transformed, needs to be more disciplined. Like the discipline energy that we have been putting into this work 9 till 5, be the mother, be the father, right? Be responsible. That needs to go into balance. That level of discipline needs to go into balance. That level of protective, focused organization, it needs to go into balance. Okay. Balancing the things that are serious with the things that are fun, the things that are boring with the things that are fun. You know, I've got to be very responsible to now I'm only responsible for myself, right? And so that first one, 9:40, that can be a little bit of a testing one, right? It could be just, that's going to be the one that shows you the outworn situation that needs to be let go of. And then the 10:21 is like being able to see how to move forward, how to integrate that lesson, and how to make sure that in the future, when these feelings start coming up that are saying, hey, you need to do something for yourself, you know how to lock in and do something for yourself. Okay. If you need my help with a reading, you know where to find me. Otherwise,